Before we get to this Ed Orgeron little clip on On3, let's start with some injury news out of our homies from CFB Nation. Head coach Steve Sarkisian stated that safety Michael Taff underwent thumb surgery, which was successful. Taff suffered this injury in the fourth quarter last weekend against Kentucky in that 16-13 overtime win there in Lexington. So far, Taff has 51 tackles, 28 solo tackles, tackle for loss, which is a sack. That was in the Red River rivalry. That's what we're seeing there on the screen when Texas beat Oklahoma. And also has an interception so far this season. There was no other details in terms of him coming back and the time period. That should be somewhat of a loss. Taff has been just a stud there in that Texas defense. Former walk-on as well. From Pete Nikos, talking about Baron Morton and his injury update. He should be questionable going into the game, as that's what he will be listed against Oklahoma State. I would say just sit him out. Hamid will be more than enough to beat the Cowboys there at home in Lubbock. As unfortunately, I think this is going to be a weekend tortillas there for the Red Raiders, as they don't want to collect any more fines. Also from Pete Nikos, news on Ole Miss's expected starter against Oklahoma, and that's going to be Trinidad Chablis, who has started the last 5 games. Kind of has been on the up and up as a Heisman contender, especially after that LSU win. Austin Simmons will be available. So this is kind of just updated news that we have been talking about the last couple of weekends. As Simmons suffered an injury, he was out, but kind of lost a job to Chablis, who has been a more efficient quarterback than Simmons this season. As we talk about some transfer news, Colorado State quarterback Braden Fowler Nicolas is expected to hit the portal next time it opens, as Norvell has been fired, and I think they have a 30-day period technically, which is earlier than the actual window. So far in his career, he has 6,938 yards, 38 touchdowns with 29 interceptions. That's not a pretty good ratio, but he is playing for Colorado State. Another player expected to enter the transfer portal, LSU cornerback Ashton Stamps. This was kind of a little bit of an eyebrow raiser, because if players are already in the news talking about leaving Baton Rouge, there might be some other people leaving Baton Rouge that are in head coaching positions pretty soon. Which again would be another interesting job in the offseason that could be open. Stamps has recorded 75 career tackles and 16 pass deflections last season. He was top 5 in pass deflections. Brendan Moore, one of our homies, was talking about coaching firings and the odds, as he put out a pretty nice article on Oddspedia. And here is the list of potential. I'm going to try to make that a little bit bigger. There we go. So that we can see. Luke Fickell is the odds-on favorite to be fired. But again, I was already talking about not being surprised if he's not let go after the blowout that is expected there in Eugene. Mike Norvell is number 2. He should be gone probably by the end of the season. Hugh Freeze, who's just been struggling there in the SEC so far this season. We'll see if he can get the job done this upcoming weekend against Arkansas. Bill Belichick, we talked about him and the possibilities of being already gone. Brett Brennan, I thought that was a little surprising to see him on this list, as he's done all right for Arizona. I would say you can't really expect anyone to be as good as Jet Fish was there in Tucson. Mark Stoops, that one makes a lot of sense, as his days numbered in Lexington is for sure pretty low. Dabo Sweeney there for Clemson. David Braun for Northwestern, which is kind of interesting. He's 5-2 this season. He's kind of turned it around. Scott Satterfield is there as a possible firing there in the odds. That's a pretty surprising one. And then Deion Sanders rounds out the list. We'll see if it updates later on this season, as it was posted on October 22nd, which I think is technically today. But go check out Brendan Moore. His content is pretty awesome in general, as he's over on X and Oddspedia. The final thing to talk about, since we're talking about coaching firings, well, one coach that might fill one of those firings is Ed Orgeron, who wants to be a head coach or even a defensive line coach. In one of these quotes, as he was interviewed on On3, he quoted, "I'm not going to take anything, and not everybody's going to take me. So it may be a head coaching job. It may be a defensive line job with someone that I believe can win a championship. I'm a championship coach, and I'm going to bring a winning program to their university." And yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting openings. Coach O will definitely be a candidate for a lot of jobs, as there's already being posted there. Virginia Tech, technically Stanford is an interim position over there in Palo Alto. UCLA, Penn State, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, and Florida has already opened up those vacancies, and there will be more added to all of these, as we are almost to the end, guys.